Hello friends! Welcome to Electrical Design Engineering YouTube channel. You can watch my videos in your language. Follow the steps to set your language. Step 1. Click the gear icon. Step 2. Select audio track. Step 3. Select your language. You may contact me for industrial design substation layout power system studies on +9 1700 647 4688 call or WhatsApp.
Hello friends, this is our lecture number 59. In this lecture we will see what will happen when a sudden load is applied on the generator. We will see first we will discuss little bit theoretically, then we will go to the ETAP software and we will see after that in ETAP what will happen. This is the turbine generator assembly, and you see the fuel is input to the turbine and the shaft is connected to the generator and output is the electrical. When the fuel is inputted to the turbine starts rotating, it develops the mechanical power. In reaction to the mechanical power, an electrical torque is developed, that is the electrical torque, mechanical torque, and in reaction to that this is the electrical torque. The net torque will be the T mechanical minus T electrical. That net torque generates the electrical output. According to Newton's second law, when a force is applied on any body, the reaction force, that is the frictional force, is developed against the applied force. The net force will be F, that is the applied force, minus the reaction force. This net force is equal to mass into acceleration, that is, and similarly in rotational motion, net torque is equal to T mechanical, that is mechanical torque developed by the turbine, minus T electrical torque, that is torque developed against the mechanical torque, is equal to the J d omega by dt. J is the moment of inertia in kg meter square, and omega is the angular acceleration, that is rotational speed in radian per second. Now we will convert this equation into the per unit power equation, that is equal to P net is equal to Pm minus Pe is equal to J d omega by dt. Now when initially the load is on the generator is 0, at that time the mechanical power and the electrical power is 0. At t is equal to 1 second, suddenly 100% load is applied, that is the electrical power goes 100%, that is the electrical power goes 100%, but the turbine cannot increase the mechanical power instantly. It takes some time to reach the electrical power. Thus the PE, that is the electrical power, is greater than the mechanical power. So our net torque will be negative. Thus speed and the frequency start decreasing. When our net torque is negative, our speed starts decreasing, which result in the decrease in the frequency. Now governor senses the frequency drop and increases the mechanical power by increasing the fuel of the turbine. When mechanical power finally catches the electrical power, governor keeps increasing fuel, PM overshoots, that is the mechanical power overshoots. Then it tries to correct it, and so oscillators start oscillating around the electrical power. These oscillations will reduce and finally the PM will be slightly higher than the electrical power, because PM should supply also the generator internal losses, that is I square R losses, and frequency will not retain to 100%, will not return to 100% because of the governor droop. Sometimes the droop is 4% and sometimes it is 5%. What is governor droop? Governor droop is a feature that allows the frequency to decrease slightly when the generator takes more load. This small frequency drop helps multiple generators share load smoothly. percentage drop is equal to no load frequency minus full load frequency divided by rated frequency into 100. In terms of speed, drop is equal to no load speed minus full load speed divided by rated speed into 100. Now we will go to the ETAP software and we will make a simple model of the ETAP, and we will perform the transit stability analysis, and we will see what will be the effect when suddenly load is applied on the generator. This is our ETAP model. Here is the generator, and this is the 11 kV bus, and this is another 11 kV bus. Because why we made these two buses is because the ETAP should have minimum 2 energized buses. So we take this bus, one more bus here. It is the just isolation transformer. You can see it is 11 on primary side and secondary on 11 kV. Just a isolation transformer, no more that. And this is the generator. You can double click on the generator and go to the rating. In the rating you should enter the rating of the generator 5 megawatt and voltage 11 kV, power factor 80% and efficiency 97%, and number of poles 4. RPM will be calculated automatically and full load will be also calculate automatically. Percentage of RC will be automatically off. Then go to the impedance and model page. Here you can select the dynamic model and tick the sub-transient model and then tick the typical data. Then go to the inertia page, and inertia page here enter that is the generator inertia in megawatt second per MVA and enter the 2.5. Then go to the exciter. In the exciter you tick the built-in and select the AC 8B and then tick the sample data. Then go to the governor. In the governor select the GB governor, select first the built-in, then select the GB governor, GP governor, and here you can select the drop and enter here the percentage drop as 4% and click the sample data and click OK. Now after that, this is the load. Double click on the load and go to the nameplate of the load and enter the load MVA 6.25 MVAR 5 megawatt load and MVAR power factor 80% and percentage here the constant 100% constant kVA load. Put it rotate fix it like that and put it 100% constant kVA load, and then go to the short circuit page and enter the percentage LRC 650 and OK, I click OK, and then go to the transformer and go to the rating and enter the primary voltage as 11 kV and secondary voltage as 11 kV and rated MVA 6 MVA, and then go to the impedance and click the typical Z and R and click OK. Now when you complete this and keep this circuit breaker in open position and go to the transit stability. When you click on the transit stability, you can then go to the edit study case. In the edit study case, you can name the study case load addition case LA, or you can write LA 1 second or LA 1 LA. Then go to the events. In the event, create the event LA 1 second after one time, like we have created in the induction motor studies. Similarly, in that event, create the one more action plan, that is circuit breaker close after 1 second. You can see here circuit, select here the device type circuit breaker and device ID circuit breaker 1 and action close. Click OK, and in the here you can name the event ID LA 1 second and T is equal to 1 second. Click OK and take the total simulation time 15 seconds and click OK. Now run that transit stability analysis. Okay, now click on that. You can see at t is equal to 1 second circuit breaker is closed, and then you can see when load is applied. Now we will go to the plotters, transit stability plotters. Okay, and click no here. First of all, we will see the bus voltage. What will happen to the bus voltage? And take the bus 1 and select the voltage and click plot. You can see when load is applied at t is equal to 1 second, the frequency drops, and it is then after back recovered more than the 100%, and finally settles to the 100%. Now we will go to the generator and select the generator G1, and here we will select the exciter voltage and click plot. Now you can see both the graphs are at same time. What will happen that when the at t is equal to 1 second, when the load is applied, voltage drops, the exciter increases its voltage, and finally when the voltage starts recovering, and finally here the exciter decreases its voltage, and finally it settles down. Now we will go to explain this, what is this behavior, why this happens. This is the same graph. When load is applied to the generator, there occurs a voltage drop mainly to the reactance of the generator, as the resistance of the generator is very small as compared to the reactance. When load is applied, what will happen? The current will start flowing. Due to this current, the reactance drop occurs. The drop due to the reactance of the voltage, mainly due to the reactance of the generator occurs, because the resistance as compared to the reactance is very small. Voltage drop is equal to Vd, that is the voltage drop, is equal to PR. P is the active power and R is the resistance, plus Qx. So we can say Vd is equal to, we are neglecting the resistance drop Qx. Due to the reactance, we are only consider the reactance drop, because the resistance drop is very small. When a voltage falls, the AVR forces the exciter to increase the field current. When the voltage falls, the AVR senses the voltage fall, and it signals the exciter to increase the fault current. Due to increasing fault current, the exciter voltage increases quickly to compensate the voltage drop. See, when the this is the exciter graph, and this is the bus voltage drop. When bus voltage drops, the exciter voltage increases due to increasing field current. It may even reach its maximum ceiling value 4.5 per unit. The exciter voltage reaches maximum unit 4.5 unit 4.5. That is the ceiling value, maximum value. I will show you on the ETAP where this maximum 4.5 is written. You can see exciter here, the EDF max is 4.5. That means it can reach maximum value of 4.5. Okay. As the voltage stabilizes, the exciter voltage settles down slowly. Generator internal voltage must be greater than the terminal voltage to compensate the voltage drop in the reactance. You can see after the voltage is settled down, you can see in the graph, after the voltage is settled down, the exciter voltage, that does EDF, does not come to the original value, because now the generator has to also supply this drop, that is drop to the reactance. So our EDF's voltage then should be greater than the bus voltage. Okay, thank you. In the next lectures, we will discuss more detail on power system stability or generator dynamics. So stay tuned with this channel. Thank you.